Imagine a bank so powerful, it helped finance the United States purchase of Louisiana in 1803. A bank so trusted it managed the wealth of the British royal family, earning it the reputation of being the sixth great European power. Now, imagine that 233 years of history, prestige, and millions in capital were completely erased by a single sheet of paper left on a desk in Singapore. On that paper, scribbled in a hurry, were just 3 words: "I'm sorry." This is the story of how a 28-year-old clerk bypassed every security protocol to place a secret $73 billion bet, more than his entire bank's market value. When it imploded, it didn't just bankrupt a financial empire. It triggered a global panic. But how did a quiet desk jockey manage to gamble away a legendary bank without anyone noticing? To understand this catastrophic collapse, we have to look at the fatal mistake the bank made before he even placed his first trade. Founded in 1762, Barings Bank was Britain's oldest and most prestigious merchant bank. It had survived the Napoleonic Wars, financed global empires, and held an untouchable status in London's financial district. To work at Barings was to be part of the global elite. But by the early 1990s, the fast-paced world of financial derivatives was changing the game. Eager to capture the explosive growth in Asian markets, Barings sent a young, ambitious Londoner named Nick Leeson to Singapore in April 1992. His job was to run Barings Futures Singapore, a small outpost trading futures on the Japanese stock market. To the executives in London, Leeson seemed like the perfect, low-risk operator. But they made a fatal error on his very first day. A structural mistake so dangerous that it practically handed Leeson the keys to the vault, and what they did next would guarantee that nobody could stop him. When Nick Leeson arrived in Singapore, his legitimate strategy was supposed to be low-risk arbitrage. Think of arbitrage like buying apples in one market for $1 and immediately selling them in another market for $1.05. The risk is virtually zero because you only buy when you already have a buyer lined up. For a while, Leeson seemed like a financial wizard. In 1993, he earned a massive bonus of £130,000 on top of his £50,000 salary. By 1994, his division was reporting spectacular profits of £28 million. Over 2 years, Leeson pocketed £450,000 in bonuses. He was the golden boy of Barings, celebrated in London as a genius. But behind this dazzling wall of profits lay a terrifying secret. Leeson wasn't making money from safe Apple trades. He was running a massive, unauthorized casino. And to keep the game going, he had already created a secret digital vault to hide his mounting disasters. To understand how Leeson pulled this off, we have to look at the fatal structural flaw Barings gave him. In any normal bank, the person who trades the money and the person who records the transactions are strictly separated. It's like having a store clerk who rings up purchases, but a completely separate accountant who audits the cash register. But Barings allowed Leeson to hold a dangerous dual role. He was the head trader and the manager of the back-office settlement operations. He was essentially his own auditor. This allowed him to create a secret error account numbered 88,888, a number often associated with prosperity in Chinese culture. But this account brought nothing but ruin instead of safe arbitrage. Leeson was making massive, unauthorized speculative bets on the future direction of the Nikkei 225 index and Japanese government bonds. When his bets went wrong, he didn't stop. He did what desperate gamblers do. He doubled down, buying even larger positions to try and win back his losses. To cover the cash demands, called margin calls, from the Singapore exchange, Leeson fabricated documents to trick the London headquarters into sending him millions of dollars, claiming it was for legitimate client accounts. In reality, he was feeding a growing monster. By the end of 1992, the secret 88,888 account held over £2 million in hidden losses. By late 1993, that figure ballooned to 23 million. But how did London's top executives, with all their risk managers and auditors, completely miss a multi-million-pound black hole? The truth is, the warning signs were flashing red for years. But Barings management chose to wear blindfolds. Senior executives in London, led by Chairman Peter Baring, simply did not understand the complex derivatives Leeson was trading. They only cared about the massive profits he claimed to be bringing in. Even when internal audit reports flagged Leeson's dangerous dual role as a critical risk, management failed to act. They didn't want to disturb their golden goose. Meanwhile, the pressure on the 28-year-old trader was becoming unbearable. Behind his confident exterior, Leeson was living a nightmare. He later admitted that he wanted to shout from the rooftops, to say that there are massive losses, and that he wanted to stop. He described a catastrophic secret, which was burning up inside him, that he was unable to reveal. By December 1994, the hidden losses in the 88,888 account had ballooned to a staggering 373.9 million Singapore dollars, roughly 208 million pounds. Leeson was standing on the edge of a cliff, desperately praying for a market miracle to save him. Instead, he was about to be hit by a literal force of nature that would shatter his illusions forever. In January 1995, Leeson made his ultimate gamble, betting heavily on the Nikkei 225 index. Then on January 17, 1995, the earth shook. The Great Hanshin earthquake devastated Kobe, Japan. As the city crumbled, the Japanese stock market went into a tailspin. The Nikkei 225 index plummeted, and Leeson's massive hidden positions began losing millions of dollars a minute. In a panicked frenzy, Leeson doubled down yet again, buying more contracts in a futile attempt to prop up the market. It was like trying to stop an avalanche with a paper shield. By late February, the losses were too vast to conceal. On February 23, 1995, realizing the game was over, Leeson and his wife packed their bags and fled Singapore, leaving behind that chilling, handwritten note on his desk that read, "I'm sorry." The very next day, on February 24, senior executives in London finally discovered the secret 88,888 account. The chairman, Peter Baring, received Leeson's confession note. The oldest merchant bank in Britain was suddenly staring at a black hole of 827 million pounds, twice the bank's entire available trading capital. But the shockwaves of this discovery were about to hit innocent people who had no idea their lives were about to change. On February 26, 1995, just 2 days after the discovery, Barings Bank was declared insolvent and forced into administration. A 233-year-old institution was wiped off the map in a single weekend. The proud legacy of the Baring family ended in humiliating bankruptcy. On March 6, the bank was sold to the Dutch firm ING for the symbolic, insulting price of just £1. While ING's acquisition saved depositors from losing their savings, the human cost was devastating. Thousands of employees worldwide lost their jobs and their bonuses overnight. Shareholders saw their investments completely wiped out. The collapse triggered panic across the global financial system and hit the most vulnerable. Charities like Centrepoint, which helped the homeless, faced sudden, terrifying uncertainty over tens of thousands of pounds they had invested with the bank. At least 16 other major charities were left in limbo. As for Nick Leeson, his run ended on March 2, 1995, when he was arrested at an airport in Frankfurt, Germany. Extradited back to Singapore in November, he pleaded guilty to fraud and forgery in December and was sentenced to 6.5 years in prison. But this isn't where the story ends. Nick Leeson was released from prison in July 1999 after serving 4 years of his sentence. In a bizarre twist of fate, the man who brought down Britain's oldest bank didn't fade into obscurity. He went on to hold senior management roles at an Irish football club. And today, he makes a living as a highly paid keynote speaker, lecturing global executives on risk management and internal controls. He even works as a private investigator, dealing with financial misconduct. The collapse of Barings Bank remains one of the starkest warnings in financial history. A reminder of what happens when blind greed, poor oversight, and a single unchecked trader collide. What other financial giants are hiding their own secret error accounts today? Subscribe to the Collapse Files, and in our next episode, we will show you how another trusted institution vanished overnight.